Good morning and welcome to Friday's edition of TVC Breakfast. My name is Etoma Edu.
Thank God it's Friday. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I am Veronica Danik Boy.
And I'm Ibrahim Shita. It's good to be here again this Friday. Tomorrow will be definitely another day. I'm Ibrahim Shita once again.
Indeed. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome. This is TVC Breakfast. My name, as always, ever remains Nelson Eta.
Nobody can steal you.
Absolutely not. It's good to be
Veronica,
here.
you are blessed among men.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It turns.
And Etoma, it's good to have you back.
Oh, thank you very much,
Absolutely.
my dear. Thank you.
Good to have
Thank
you back. Like we have rightly pointed out, we have an array of issues we'll be looking at this morning. Definitely looking at the coalition and then every other stories that we need to talk about, as well as stories making the headlines on the front pages of the newspapers and stories that are trending now much later. But let's begin with this sad story where reactions continue to trail the death of legendary goalkeeper of the Super Eagles, Peter Rufai. The 61-year-old passed away on Thursday morning after a long illness that kept him out of the public eye for some time. Regarded as one of Nigeria's greatest goalkeepers, the former stationery stores and Go-Ahead Eagles shortstopper had an illustrious career, earning 65 caps for the national team, including appearances in 2 FIFA World Cups. Nicknamed Dodo Mayana, Rufai was part of the Super Eagles team that won the 1994 Africa Cup of Nations. Rufai also made history when he scored for the Super Eagles in a 6-0 win against Ethiopia in 1993. He played for clubs in Nigeria and abroad, and including Dragons de Louis, Lumiere, of Benin Republic, Lokeren and Beveren in Belgium, Go-Ahead Eagles of the Netherlands, Firenze and Gil Vicente in Portugal. May his soul continue to rest in peace. I believe that we can give him a moment of silence.
Yes, absolutely.
Again, may his soul continue to rest in peace. If you talk about the person of Peter Rufai, you definitely remember, in fact, almost all his pictures, you see him standing beside the goalpost, watching it, ensuring that those goals do not get through. And also ensure that Nigeria made history in 1994, especially qualifying for the World Cup, where everybody sat, you know, watching the games at that time. He gave Nigerians something to relish.
Oh, yes. It became, how do I put it? It became like a portrait of, that Eagles are playing and Peter Rufai is at the goalpost, you know, and he did quite a good job for the Eagles. I remember that African Cup of Nations that we won. His celebration was like, I don't know what I'm thinking about that. And another thing that's getting into my mind concerning him is his wife, Stella Moye, that made that beautiful song for him. I just keep remembering that Nigeria has lost somebody really, really important. And one thing that pained me is that he was sick for a very long time, and it was as if we didn't give him the kind of support he needed at that time.
You know, when it comes to matters of illness, a lot of people like to keep it private. And so they wouldn't necessarily come out to speak about it. Even a lot of his perhaps mates at the time were surprised that he was even ill for quite a while now, and that they did not hear anything about it. Perhaps could he have spoken like we have seen others come out to speak? We've seen several people before now that have also passed come out to talk about how it is that they are struggling with one health challenge or the other, and also how have we been able to manage it. Perhaps he learned lessons from there and said, let me deal with my issues.
Well, the thing is, it's so sad that we have to gather here this morning and talk about the loss of one of our heroes when it comes to someone who mounted. It was not just a goalkeeper; it was a giant. It was, you know, it was that fortress in gloves, you know, helping us against foreign attackers, because more of attacking and trying to get between the bars. But the fact that he was ill for a long time, you know, virtually everyone is ill. If you look at it, even in this world, no one has 100%, and he didn't make it public. Didn't mean that he wasn't taking care of himself. And the fact, even if he had made it public, it is very certain that one day, whether we like it or not, will definitely, you know, pass. But the fact remains, he was a legend. He did very well, helping Nigeria, and it's actually a blow to the 1994 squad. You know, we've lost, you know, a whole of them.
A number of them.
Yeah, so name it, Rashidi Yekini, Stephen Keshi, Uche Okafor, Wilfred Agbonovari, and Thompson Oliha. You know, so these people, the thing is, how do we now remember them is what really matters. I remember growing up, we used to call him Keeper Rufai because of his position, rather than saying Peter Rufai. But it's all good that he helped us, he helped Nigeria. These are one of the groups that put Nigeria, you know, place Nigeria on the map.
Absolutely. Yes. A lot of persons remember him much more as Dudu Mayana, as he gives his own real name.
Peter.
Yes. But now saying, how should we, how do we, you know, immortalize people like this? I know that the president has spoken about him. Even some other persons in Nigeria have talked about how much he did in the world of sports, putting Nigeria on the map. But then it should go beyond just talking about him to immortalizing him.
Veronica, I like when you mentioned immortalized, because this is very important. First of all, I want to say that Nigeria were beyond blessed. We're a nation whom God had given such an immense human resource in different fields of life. And so looking at our sports, I'm tempted to say that a cream of excellent, professional, skilled players probably are no longer on the stage, but Osime, my guy, is there. And so for this gentleman whom I think his time came and he has taken a walk out of this earth, we pay our homage and respect to him, not just to him now, but to several other ones who kept Nigeria on the green light for many years, on the lips of various persons across the world, for our excellence in sport. So immortalizing them, for me, I think a museum should be opened in their names, where anybody can walk, a football or should I say football or sports museum, anybody can walk in there and see all their legacies, their jerseys, their footballs, what happened in their era, some sort of like a history. So you can walk through and see what happened, the history of sports and football in this country. I think that should be done by the Ministry of, you know, Sports. And Senator, I think, what's his name, from my place, who is the Minister of Sport, rather. I think, sir, you need to pick this up and immortalize these men and women. Because if we do not do that, you know, open a history for them, a generation will not know what they did. The level of excellence and skills they brought into football. We'll not be looking at the younger ones who are there now.
And what was even coming to my mind is that the class of 1994, there's never been any group as good as that.
I was trying not to be a bit more, you know.
You were trying to be modest.
Exactly. We used to watch trying to be nice.
For me, I think a sports arena in his home state should be named after him. That's a good way of immortalizing him. And it was John Owaneno you were trying to remember.
John Owaneno, thank you.
And John Owaneno, I think now he's a Deputy Minister for Sports, Minister of States for Sports. That idea of having a sports museum in Nigeria is a very good idea.
That's right.
And I underline the very. I just hope somebody picks it and starts doing something about it seriously. We are not celebrating our talented people in this country enough. And a museum like that will definitely do that. Our younger ones, too, need to know the history, the names of these people, what they did, how the jersey was in 1972, and things like it will be exciting to have stuff like that.
Documenting history is something we have not been good at doing. It's sad that there are so many things that, not just in sports, but so many things that Nigeria has gone through that a lot of persons should walk into a space and look at and see. But then we are not getting that. So if we begin from here, it would be a good idea than just talking about it. So I would expect that the sports ministry champions some things that they can do in the interim to addressing this matter of immortalizing. Because when you're talking about patriotism, since class of 1994, we haven't seen a lot of persons who play for, play for Nigeria or across the world talk about that matter of patriotism. You don't see it as much in them as much as these ones did. It's difficult.
Matter of fact, Nigerians were proud watching them then. I remember it was on a black and white television, you know, playing against Denmark. You know, I think there was a time Denmark hit us 4-0. We were all sad. No one could eat. Not now that, you know.
The passion was intense at the
there,
time.
so everyone gathered.
I remember my elder sister that does not watch football. She was praying. She was moving up and down. She was just
you felt that sense of pride, you know, of being a Nigerian. Yes, we want to watch football. We all knew the time at the time, and you know, Nigeria was just so good.
Football in this nation was our pride place to be.
Yeah.
Once Nigerian team was on television, even the devil paused his wickedness and turned to the screens to watch, you know,
the devil was distracted at the time.
He was.
Somebody used to say that Nigeria playing football could settle quarrels at home.
Absolutely, it did.
Husband and wife.
Especially if they won.
And it was a melting pot
nation.
of the whole nation.
Yeah.
No matter the upheavals that we had, the differences that we're pushing and all that, once it was football, we dropped everything and we became Nigerians. I wish we could go back to that.
I just wish the current players should, you know, learn from these legendary, you know, stars.
The Minister of Sports and Tourism, maybe you all should join together, please. There should be a Hall of Fame dedicated to this gentleman.
Absolutely. A Hall of Fame, a place, a museum, whatever you want to call it.